So today's journey starts at the AIS, Australian Institute of Sport. Things for the Joulukalenteri this year, a little bit different, Christmas calendar. Usually everyone just puts in a shred video, but a lot of the background would be people's lounge rooms. I'm going to have a few reflections on footbag and education. Now you might ask, why start here? Now I actually used to work here as a tour guide, close to 10 years. So taking a lot of school groups around, this is where I learned a lot about education and using footbag. And I was able to promote footbag using the tours by giving a short demonstration. So what do we do about footbag? Footbag's dying. How come I can't win $5,000 like I did in the 80s? How come there's less people in the competitions? These are questions we often hear in the footbag community. And unfortunately there's no easy answer. Although in previous times there was more money available. The playing level gets higher and higher. But a big issue is the grassroots. Just your kickers, your hacky sack. That's been turned away over many years. And it's hard for them to find a connection into the elite level. So there's something I've been thinking about recently, about how we communicate with new players, with people who want to go from just kicks into freestyle. And there's a lot of talk about what you must have and how hard it is to get. But maybe at that level we need to talk about what you don't need. Because to do kicks and to do around the world, you don't need special shoes. You don't need to chop up your shoes. You just really need energy and enthusiasm and a willingness to just keep picking up the bag when it drops down. That one's the most important thing. But I think a lot of the time we get stuck on defining terms. Is it footbag? Is it hacky sack? Do you have the right shoes? That can all come later. But getting bogged down in those arguments, it can reduce that enthusiasm, which is a problem. I also think there's plenty of room for us to add some of that creativity from the hack circle. Flying clippers, unusual stalls, and there's plenty of players who do this, but then there's also people who might frown upon that kind of thing. But I think there's room for a good balance of it, and for, you know, all kinds of styles. It's freestyle footbag after all. So some of these things I'm talking about today, they're even before the point of getting in and showing people footbag. It's more like just explaining easily what it is. Feels like, is it hacky sack? You know what the easiest thing to say is? Yeah. Don't have to say, oh, but hacky sack is a brand name, and have a long conversation many times. I've learned that along the years. Maybe it's easier to go with the flow, and then if they become interested, then you can correct them. But the big things, be proud of your sport, you know? Take a footbag with you if you go out walking or on a bike ride or something. There's lots of players, especially on Instagram, but they're showing footbag in cool locations. Especially some of the star players, you know, guys like Onze Weber make pretty cool edits and get a lot of views. In terms of actually going to schools or other places and demonstrating footbag, big thing we want to have, make it fun, make it enjoyable and interesting. Don't overwhelm the students with really hard tricks. A nice idea can be start with a couple of tricks that they can aspire to, some basic tricks, stalls around the works, maybe a catch on the neck. Let them have a turn, you know, do your lesson, try and get some games going, things like Foursquare, and then at the end, finish it off with a few of the harder tricks. You don't want them starting out saying, oh, I could never do that. Because for all of us, we probably started with the kicks. You know, I know the first time I did it, I could do 3 kicks, and I was pretty proud of that. The other big thing, you don't want long waiting times. It's best if everyone can be moving at the same time or doing something with a footbag. They might be working in pairs. One might be throwing it to the other and then they try and do a kick. But you want everybody to be active straight away and have the turns shared around. So this is by no means a how-to guide on how to teach footbag or what to show people about footbag. This is just some thoughts that I've had, but I am hoping to have a bit more information on the how-to sort of things coming up in the next month or so. So keep an eye out for that. What I plan to do is like an online resource that you can complete and tick the box, and if you go and present in schools, you say, yes, I am a qualified trainer. Remember, try and have fun with things. Don't take yourself too seriously.